Here's Paul. Dallas has a foul to give. Booker on a three. He got it! Devin Booker gives Phoenix a 1-point lead with
5 from long range. Durant's got 11. Craig goes down. Durant has got a highlight.
Remaining. Tatum drives down and throws it down. Wow!
Bryant for the win. Bang! Kobe Bryant has hit a shot at the buzzer.
You definitely have a lot to say about the next segment, though. So
I guess we all do. Actually.
We all do.
We all do.
So, yesterday, I guess I'll lead this segment. But yesterday, Stephen A. Smith went on his little Stephen A. Smith versus the World show. Essentially talked about because again, if you've been hearing the news, Steph Curry is about to pass Ray Allen for all-time threes in the league. Mm-hmm. So
he's
now
10 away.
He's 10 away currently. I mean,
Ray Allen.
Me too. I'm a Celtics fan. I love Ray Allen. So yeah, that's fair enough. But he brought up an interesting question to ponder.
Has Steph Curry overtaken LeBron James as the basketball icon of this generation?
Some accolades, like he won NBA Finals and yada yada. And again, I'm gonna do the age stuff before I pass it on to you. But think about it: Steph Curry is 33, LeBron's 36. That's all I want to throw out there before we. There's a little bit of context about their age range.
So we're talking about this is, in my opinion, this is how the question is worded. So has Steph Curry taken over LeBron James as this generation's basketball or NBA icon? Icon.
Yeah.
Not the best player, not who's the better player. This is about icons. So when you close your eyes and you think NBA basketball, who comes into your head first? Now, it depends a lot. It depends on a whole lot of things. But to me, I feel like this conversation should not include accolades and stats as much as if you were talking about who's the better player.
Hell no, baby. No, I agree. I agree because, again, we're talking about, image and picture over raw basketball talent or raw basketball numbers or whatever.
Yeah.
So you have that.
I think this is more about who is better or not even better. I think this is about who is the more recognizable name and who is kind of gonna be if you had to take it. I guess no, because I was gonna say in a few years who would be the face of the NBA, but LeBron's probably gonna retire in a few years anyway.
Yeah. And still be the face somehow when he retires.
Yeah,
anyway.
seriously, he's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, me and Reed were kind of discussing this before we started recording that, I think that LeBron will be, up until the day that he retires, be the NBA icon. However, I do think that Steph Curry is the icon for the three-point shot and the new type of play for the NBA. So, I mean, you can spin that in any way that you want. You could even say that technically would classify as an NBA icon, but not more than LeBron, I don't think. I mean, LeBron, all he's done throughout his career has, in my opinion, overshadowed Steph Curry's. Even before that, before when Steph Curry had won his titles and stuff and he was gaining popularity, no one knew about him until he really started winning those titles. I mean, he We Believe Warriors team, which was before him, and then ultimately he got drafted to, if any of the old fans remember him playing with Monte Ellis, and he had a role behind Monte Ellis. Monte Ellis was the centerpiece of that team.
Yep.
And then eventually it became Curry's turn.
Wait, who's on that Monte Ellis team? Wasn't there a big time center on that team during that time?
Probably was, but I can't remember. Jason Richardson was also on
Jason
that team.
Richardson. That's another guard. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I forgot. I do remember that Warriors team.
There was a couple guys on that team. It was a really good team, but I really do believe that the
Oh, that's who it was.
Sorry.
NBA legend Andrew Bogut. That's what I was thinking of. NBA legend. I love that man. I got to watch him, and again with the Curry and everything, Bogut was great. He was just a great center and just an icon in general. No, but I agree with you in the sense of that 3-point modern day icon, which you can spin as the NBA icon. But again, when you picture the NBA and think about what player comes to mind, you close your eyes. Everyone thinks LeBron. Personally, when I grew up in my time, it's more of Kobe. I think you and I agree that since we grew up with Kobe, I think we more think of Kobe than LeBron.
I mean, I hate Kobe, so what? I mean,
okay,
let me
just spat some fire out here.
Well, let me explain myself. Obviously, rest in peace to GOAT.
Yes.
But I hated Kobe growing up. He was a villain in my eyes.
Yeah.
So like obviously like for me, you know, he was one of those top dogs that I was always like, I hate you, but I have so much respect for you.
Mm-hmm.
But for me personally, obviously like I like was sitting on my dad's lap watching games as a baby. So like I mean. I like he would just make it put on Celtics games and I would watch that stuff. But so for me personally, it was Jordan because I actually was able to slightly not remember fully of it, but I could witness him playing on the Wizards.
Ugh.
So.
That tenure. Also, you hate the guy who's now our logo / in our intro now.
Sure, but like, yeah, but like,
I'm glad you explained yourself immediately though, because I have a feeling
like,
that if someone's gonna say you're gonna say I hate Kobe, immediately just
Soundbite.
just
It's soundbite. Just
look,
off.
look.
Shut us off.
My dad was a huge Celtics fan. I had to grow up with it. I became a Suns fan over time. Just it worked itself out, but like, but I do have that strong hatred towards Kobe as a player. He was frustrating to watch because he would always just beat all the teams that I like. So why would you want to dislike him?
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think for me at least, so I only really got into basketball like in the past few years.
Sure.
Because, well, I mean, I didn't only really got into it because I live right down the hall from you our freshman year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for me at least, I haven't really seen a whole lot, but I still feel like it's always been LeBron.
Yeah.
You know, for like our generation, I feel like it's always been LeBron.
100%.
Personally, I was in like 5th grade and I was wearing LeBron's shoes. I knew who he was, but I didn't really watch basketball. But like I totally knew who he was.
That's the thing,
you know?
Like not to cut you off or anything,
Yeah,
but
no.
that's the thing is like even if you're not an NBA fan or watch basketball, you still know who LeBron is.
And I feel like you still know who Curry is for sure, but I feel like
It's less
like
known.
it's definitely I think it's
Not as
LeBron.
big.
Like when
Yeah,
you
not as
close your eyes, and also I mean Trish brought up a good point. You know, sitting over there on the couch. No, he did. He said that I think he thinks it's like an age thing as well.
It is.
Where like you
Yeah,
guys
totally
just talked
is.
about it. You guys were watching. Kobe was big in
What
your
I'm
eyes.
talking about?
There was
Right.
LeBron. He doesn't want to show his face. He's a little shy boy. But
Definitely age
yeah.
thing.
So now I feel like.
Imagine the next generation
the
talking
like the
about-
younger kids now, like kids, I mean, you know, we're not that much older.
Yeah.
But like, you know, you're talking about like 15, 14, 13-year-olds right now watching basketball.
They're probably thinking about
I
like
feel
LaMelo.
Well, that, and also I mean, Curry for sure. I think LaMelo is on the rise.
And
but I
like
think
Luka Doncic,
Yeah.
I think for sure.
you know,
is
like
another
Jason,
person.
like
Trey.
Jason Tatum,
Trey the villain. He's
Jason
like
Tatum.
Jason Tatum.
Yeah, you know,
Yes,
like all
sir.
those guys.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely an age thing right now.
Booker.
Booker.
Maybe.
We want to talk about a villain right now.
Yeah,
Booker is on
Booker's
the
on his villain arc.
Booker is
on
a
it.
villain
Yes,
right
sir.
now to everybody but the Suns.
Yes.
That's what I love about it.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'd like to say Tatum again. I grew up with Tatum as well because especially I saw him get drafted. So I'm gonna say my next guy next to Kobe is Tatum because I saw him right when he got drafted after we blew up the damn KG, you know, Paul Pierce era. So rip that Celtics team because that was, I think, my favorite all-time team to watch. Just because of how they were.
Bird was pretty good.
Okay, Bird was good, but I think
we were alive.
I was alive for the super team because
That was before our time.
no Warriors, hell no. Cavs, hell no. Miami Heat, hell no. So I'm just like the Celtics 08 team will always be in my heart. So
Fair.
yeah. Anyway, I mean, do you guys have any other things? Because like I think we pretty much shat on Stephen A's take. Because I think Stephen A. I didn't mention it, but Stephen A. I think he was leaning towards that Steph Curry was the NBA icon.
And I think a big thing of what Stephen A. Smith was trying to argue for is what we brought up originally was that Steph Curry is the face. He brought up the stats, which I don't agree with. I don't think this is a stats conversation.
Yeah.
But he's saying that, like, Steph Curry is the face of the new, and James was talking about it as well, how Steph Curry is the new face of the new NBA and what we're playing now. Because, you know, I mean, way back, even, like, when LeBron was playing in the early 2000s, like, people were not chucking up, like, 30-footers, you know, without hesitation.
Yeah.
Like, that just wasn't happening. And now it is. So I feel like that's definitely a big part of kind of like why people would see Steph as more of an icon as opposed to LeBron.
Last thing to add, just like real quick, just because I took note of it the other day. I saw it on social media somewhere. I forget which app, but I saw that like there was an interview with Damian Lillard, and I would say personally that Dame has contributed into that kind of new generational
Oh, absolutely.
shooting type.
Absolutely.
So I wanted to just throw that out there. That Dame I think is also with Curry, not maybe on par, but he's involved
For
with that. Yeah, for
recognizability, recognition. Yeah,
Recognition.
definitely a better word.
There you
Recognizability.
go.
That's not a word.
Yeah. So, I mean, we pretty much just crapped on Stephen A. Anyway, his hairline's still receding to this day. So, that's all I want to say. And again, we'll see. We'll see again because we don't know. Again, we're not in that age group anymore, like the young age group who's trying to find the new influence or that next star. So we're in that older generation, like
old head mentality.
Old head mentality.
Old head mentality, I guess.
So yeah, we will see who the next icon will be. Hopefully, it'll be someone we actually enjoy watching, not some BS Ben Simmons or something like that.
Yeah.
Like I'm bringing him back up.
He's never gonna leave.
Oh,
His ghost haunts this podcast.
He will always come back.
His ghost haunts this podcast. He haunts this casting couch that we have.
Okay. Pause. All right. Pause. All right. That means you gotta cut the show. But yeah.